working? Why is it saying no? Good morning, Vietnam! Don't say good morning, Vietnam, Christine. Wonder how many people watch The Office. Good morning, Ginger. You heard that? Good morning, Vietnam.
She watches The Office.
She put on her gi for the class. Nice. Full commitment right there. Top student. It is a gi class. Okay, let's see what we have today. Ginger, you missed the first. Which half god lesson did you miss? I think you missed the first one, which was the most important one for you. Because this is where all the lockdown stuff was. Yes, the one that got to. I think it's back now. I'll send you a link after. Anywho, is the music too loud? Turn it. Anyway, I'm gonna do a quick recap on the half guard stuff because we are moving on. That's the last sequence of the half guard stuff. So we looked at smashed half guard, which was the first sequence. Let's change this so you can see. So we have smashed half guard from the underhook, from the seating style, and the octopus. I'll quickly recap it. Basically, there's three forms of passing style from here. We've got the underhook and crossface, which is this one. We have the seating style and the octopus style. Let me get my draw tool out as well. So here are the main three passes that people are gonna do to you when they get this position. Here, where is it? These passes here, I think. So I have the seating style, which is this one. That's the octopus. And we have, I think this one's the seating one. That's the recovery. Yes, this is the seating one. This is more popular in the gi than no gi. So the whole point of this lesson here was to realize which position we were on. So if we were either on the underhook crossface, the seating style, and the octopus style, and then we had a move specifically for each version of that little sequence. So if you can't basically, to know the sequences, just watch the half guard smash lesson. Next up we had, so that was the underhook. So this lesson was all about the recovery from those positions to get into a good spot. This lesson was about the strategies we have in the half guard. So we had old school half guard, butterfly, knee shield, and hip clamp, and we looked at the some guides on how to use them, and we looked at the moves as well from there. So this was the second lesson, I think it's called half guard strategies. If you want to watch that one, it's on YouTube as well. And then last Monday's class was quarter guard, which we looked at the knee twist, deep half, wader, and reverse half guard. And that finalizes all our half guard lessons over here. Cool, so we're moving on today. But like I said, anything from the half guard, it will be on the other YouTube links. So moving on, I couldn't decide what to do, so I picked sitting guard because a very good guard, very powerful, very underused as well, and it doesn't require any flexibility or any like kind of natural talents you don't have. So anyone can do this guard and can be quite effective at it. So there's a good time to go for this. You could use it as a chain. The time I use it the most is, and I didn't put it here, basically imagine Cobrinha here was playing De La Riva guard, and he used his arm to push my De La Riva hook down. So he's killing my De La Riva hook. So that's usually when I'd sit up and play collar and sleeve guard or sit up guard. So that's a good time for you to go for it. There's three main ways of playing sitting guard. You can go for sweeps. You can use it as a transition to go to one leg X, or you can play shin to shin to kind of like sweep, or to move on to one leg X as well. I'll quickly show you guys the most traditional moves that people do from this position, but there's loads of different sweeps and probably better ones. I will show you the best one in my opinion, but there's a lot of sweeps that I missed out here. So, but I'll put links to like sitting guard breakdowns after, and you can watch them and you can see like all the moves that you can do from there. Anyway, we have the fast sleeve control, which is the one people teach the most. So you're here, someone steps inside your legs like that, you hug the leg. I like to block the far knee a little bit just to make sure the person doesn't start knee slicing me or whatever. The only downside to this is they can attack this arm, which we'll see later. But as long as you're aware of the attack, you can counter it. And it's quite a risky move for the person on top to do. But this is how you usually start. And then we have fast side sleeve control, which is our first technique. Very simple. All you're aiming to do is to grab that sleeve there, pass it to the hugging arm. Usually try to hold on to the grip with both hands at this point, so both grips, so like a spider grip, so you can keep the arm in place while you switch the collar. Boom, grab the collar. And now if you could, right, I kind of let this leg go dead on the floor. It's slightly better to keep that leg the whole time on Kirsten's knee over here. Okay, but sometimes you can't because she's already pushed. But ultimately, that will stop her from stepping over your leg. And then we have the stretch sweep. Now, you will feel this is a very hard sweep to pull off because a lot of people know. And people generally don't want to fool because you land nastily on your shoulder, right? Think of the sweep. If you stretch this leg right here, and then try to pull the person, they'll never go. They'll lean back and they just won't go they won't fall for the sweep. Okay. You have to time the kick with the pull. So you pull first, and then think of this leg as the tripping leg. So just like one of those judo trips, you're gonna make the person take the step first, and then you're gonna chop the knee. And that's how you do a really good sweep. Okay, I did it really slowly here because our carpet is really bad and it still hurts landing on it. But you would be like tripping the person over and they'll collapse really heavily on the top. Be careful doing this to people. I have like broken someone's shoulder doing the sweep because they landed a little bit funny. So be gentle when you're tripping them up. So that's the near slide far side sleeve. Now, I put this move here, but I have mixed feelings about it. I don't really use it, to be honest. And I've never seen it used in comp. But it's the one that people teach the most. So you can't get access to the far sleeve. So you take the near sleeve instead. And this is called the spin on the sweep. The easiest way to explain it is, on the last sweep we took the right sleeve, so we stepped left sleeve, so we swept towards this side. Now we take the other sleeve. She has no base to this side, so that's the side we're trying to sweep the person to. So to do this, after I get my near side sleeve, I'm gonna spin underneath Kirstine, and I'm just gonna kind of fall flat on my back so that her knee collapses onto my chest, like this. And now she has no base towards this direction. You can see where this is going. You just gotta shrimp underneath, and you can sweep them over. Again, I think it's an alright sweep, but it's just very hard to get that sleeve, especially against good players. What they generally will be grabbing is the back of your collar here, and kind of pushing and pulling you and etc. So I think realistically, later on it's going to be really difficult to get that sleeve. So yeah, the far sleeve is probably easier to get. But nevertheless, that is one of those available sweeps that you can do. Near slide sleeve, I tend to get the loop choke. Yeah, you can get the loop choke a lot as well from here. Especially because you lean with your head here. And if the person grabs that collar there, you can go in for a nasty loop choke. But the loop choke is a very easy submission to get out. So you can bait the loop choke. They'll probably fall over and try to submit you. And as long as you know how to defend it, you should end up with 2 points. If you want loop choke counters, look at Keenan versus Nicholas Megarali. And he uses like the same counter over and over again. So next up we have the one, in my opinion, the most powerful tool from this position, the single leg get up. Okay, and we'll see later on in the breakdown bit someone who's really successful at this move. So from here, you're trying to get access. This can be done so many different ways. That's why I like it so much. You can do it with the sleeve, with the collar, the near sleeve. Literally any grip set will kind of do. You can grab the trousers as well, come up for power double. But basically, you're trying to do the sleeve whip. This is a really good time to do it. But again, like I said, you can force this move quite a bit. You're trying to pass the sleeve, or you're trying to sweep the person and they keep leaning back, not letting you. So you're just going to switch your base and you're going to get up. And then you can do your single legs. Now, there's like 10 different ways of finishing this move, right? And there's 2 ways of getting up as well. This is the traditional get up. You can also switch your legs the other way and come up into like a Faria style, which would be instead of, so I'll pause here. So instead of coming up with this leg, you can come up with the other leg to this direction instead. They're both okay. I think this one is more of the person's leaning back, so it's easier to get. If the person's leaning forward, it's better to go for the other one. But you could also grab the far leg here and then get up. You can be grabbing onto the sleeve, the collar, anything. And you can sweep a lot of people with this really easily. Especially if they're not very good at the stand-up game. This is a free sweep for anyone who doesn't do takedowns. And you don't have to be very good at takedowns to do it. That's why I like it so much. So my stand-up is terrible. But this is the only move I can probably get in a standing scenario. you're always gonna struggle to take the person down if they're a good wrestler or they've done any stand-up. So I wouldn't advise doing this against a wrestler or judo black belt, but anyone similar level to you, I don't think you'd even need technique to take someone down. Just come up fast and chase the other leg. Like, as long as you tap this leg, trip, do whatever you can. It doesn't take much science now. You see a person leaning on one leg, just off balance them, run at them, do anything to take them down. And if you want like proper details on single legs, just look up ask JT or someone who actually does wrestling. Here we go. So that's your little strategy there. Try to take the fast sleeve, I would say, and if that doesn't work, come up with your own sweeps, or my favorite, get up for the single leg. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the sweeping aspects. But like I said, there's tons of sweeps that you can look up. But so everyone understands, if you want to play this guard like this, you can, and it's perfectly fine. I'd rather go to a distance guard before I go to this one. So I'd rather play Spider, Collar and Sleeve, or De La Riva before I attempt this guard. The only real time I'd choose to go to it is if my De La Riva is not working. I'd switch to this guard. And that's just because I'd rather have distance control over someone before they get in tight like this. Just for my own safety, I feel safer. But if you don't like any sort of open guard, this is probably the guard you should start with. And then you can connect it to whatever guard you like. Cool? Next up, we have Shin to Shin, which is basically sitting guard's best friend. And the main goal for it is to stop this from happening, the knee slice. Whoops, that's the next move. This is the knee slice we're trying to avoid. Especially if you're not aware of your positioning body-wise, right? You will get knee sliced a lot. But there's two things the person on top needs to be able to knee slice you. One is an underhook, which is that arm there. And she has to get her knee through. So even if you're playing a really terrible kind of sitting guard, as long as you stay tight with this arm hugging, the person shouldn't be able to underhook you. So you should be able to just hold on to their knee there without them knee slicing through. But it's not the best position to be on. It's better to go for knee twist in that case rather than anything else. But there's a really popular move from, I don't know if I'm going to say her name right, but it's called, I think it's Michelle Nicolini. But she does this sweep a lot. I'll put links again after, and you can see the highlight of her doing this move. But anyway, when you're playing sitting guard and someone starts to knee slice you, you're going to do a quick shrimp to get to shin. So that's my foot there, circling there. So again, it's quite quick and it's hard to see, but you must do a little shrimp so you can get your foot just there. And now any form of control of that sleeve, you have a successful sweep. Unless the person leans back or they know the sweep. But if they don't, they'll still try to knee slice you. And you can flip them over like this. That's probably, used to be one of my favorite sweeps. I forgot about it until I done this lesson plan. Because I play so much knee twist now and half guard. I kind of like it when people knee slice me. But when I didn't play that, this used to be one of my favorite moves if someone tried to knee slice me. So you put your shin there. and then you sweep them. I try to look up Michelle doing it after so you guys can see it in comp. I think there's, let me find it now before I forget. And I'll post it here. And there's, I think it was a BJJ Scout video that did like a breakdown of shin to shin. Here you go. I can't show it, but I'll put it on the chat. That's like a full breakdown of her shin to shin sweep. But anyway, so that's the shin to shin entry, and that's the counter to the knee slice that she uses. But it's a very good way to sweep someone. Cool, and any form of grip here will do. Like you could have passed that grip to the other hand. You could just control the sleeve. And the more commitment the person does on the knee slice, the easier the sweep will be. The last little sequence is our one leg X entry, which is probably the most popular one, which is you get your shin to shin when someone steps in, you shrimp underneath them, and you get your one leg X. And your primary sweep here in a gi would be to grab the other trousers and sit up and sweep. The main thing about this technique is that beginners get a little bit, find it a bit tricky, is they don't bring the knee towards, like they don't collapse the knee into the chest, so the foot becomes really heavy. You need to make the foot as light as possible, so you bend the person's knee as much as you can, then you lift, then you kick through, and that's our regular sweep. And again, there's a whole window of moves from that one leg X, but those are the most popular ones you're gonna see from shin to shin and from sitting guard. Right, the last thing that we have is just the things that could go wrong when you're playing sitting guard, and you must know all of these attacks if you're going to be successful at this guard, and you're going to have to learn how to counter them, not just avoid them as well, because you can avoid moves by being protected and stuff, but a lot of people are going to be a little bit quicker than you sometimes, so you will need to have counter to these. But these are your general threats, okay? One is that underhook to a knee slice, which you can prevent very easily by hugging the leg really tight. So this arm here, hug that leg like a little koala or something. Don't let any gaps in between your armpit so they can get on the hook. That's your general threat as a beginner. More advanced people, they'll know that underhook is hard to get. So here we have guillotines, loop chokes. That's your first threat. Tuck your chin, should be fine. And use it anytime someone goes for a guillotine like this. It's a really great time to either sweep them or get up on single legs, because they'll accept the sweep happily because they think they have a guillotine. But as long as your guillotine defense is good, you should end up with points. If you don't have a strong guillotine defense, then probably gonna get tapped. So learn how to defend guillotines. And the most popular one is this arm attack over here, okay, where people jump over you and they go for Kimura. So again, you can avoid it by keeping your elbows tight and hidden, etc. But you are gonna get caught at this at some point in your life, so you might as well learn a counter to it at some point. Generally speaking, you just want to get your elbow free, okay? So don't turn aggressively, otherwise you give the back. And don't just try to muscle your way out of this. Remain a little bit calm here. And your whole goal here is just to get this elbow in between the biceps. So you're just gonna suck your elbow out. I forgot to film it. But if you guys got access to YouTube, you can just look up all of these moves. Cool? But that's the general. Most of the time, this is all you're gonna have to deal with. There's another one which is the back step, but it's unpopular. It's not as good. Only no-gi, which you can go for like leg locks, but even then it's quite difficult to get. Cool. Any questions? Fire them away now before we move on. About sitting guard. And while you guys are thinking about questions, I'm just gonna look up these links real quick. There you go. There's Marcelo Garcia showing you the rolling Kimura counter. And probably Marcelo Garcia is probably the best guy to study sitting guard on. Him and the next guy that we're looking at. But Mackenzie is quite good as well. Not Mackenzie, Nicolini, sorry. Trying to find out her first. Is her first name Michelle? It is Michelle Nicolini. It's because she fights Mackenzie Dern a lot. Here we go. This next link is the shin to shin study Michelle Nicolini. So that's, if you want to get good at shin to shin, that's the one to watch. With his knee and chest. So let me see what to do with his knee and chest when he flattens you. So that's, you're gonna have to do there's two ways to stop that. I forgot the name. They actually have a god name in Brazil for that. Basically, this is the best video to show. Imagine I didn't have the near side sleeve, so what Steve means. And Kirstine flattens me out like this, and she has a leg up, but her arm is free. This happens a lot. As long as you keep the knee in the middle of your chest, okay, you're gonna have to bump them up. So it's gonna be almost like a balloon sweep or a like overhead sweep. But you gotta remember that they always have base because you have no sleeve control. If you have one sleeve, they probably don't want to flatten you out. Okay, so you won't have both sleeves and they have their knee onto you. So you're gonna have to balloon sweep them up. I'm trying to find the name of the sweep, but I can't remember. But if that makes sense, I'm gonna pause the video here and try to explain it. But you'll be here with the leg hug, and she'll probably be basing backwards. You're gonna use this leg here to stomp on the floor, and the other leg that's in between to kick your partner forward. So you're gonna do a little like a football kick, not like a football kick, like a leg curl right in between her butt to make her base somewhere around here. You could also do it to make a base around here as well. But any form of like, you just gotta make a base, and when she comes back, you come back with a single leg. So the person who showed me this sweep, or who got me this sweep a lot of times, and I think I can use his videos. I'm gonna try to find. Where's his page? Charles. Let me see if I can find him doing the technique. So if you look up, I think, where's this page? So Charles is very good at this technique from the main academy. It's like his signature sweep. I don't think I'll be able to find it now. But yeah, basically is what I tried to explain. If you know, just off balance people. Anyway, this next guy might do it. I'm not sure. So today we have Otavio Souza versus Rafael Domingos. So Otavio Souza is really good at sitting guard and the single leg move. That's like his primary sweep in all the comps. But here we go. Starts off over here. I think he does have a bit like good Why are you sending me? Oh. So the guy's knee slicing here straight away. He's already trying to control that sleeve. His grips are like insane. So here's De La Riva. And I think he might follow the same sequence. Now, De La Riva is a great way to get the sleeves. I forgot to mention this, but now that I'm watching him, is a very good time to explain it, right? So, from De La Riva, you can probably get the near sleeve really easily, or the far sleeve quite easily. And that's one of the reasons also why it's easier to play sitting guard from there. So now he can kick the leg and sit up anytime he wants and hug the leg without getting underhooked in most cases. A little eye stare at each other there. That grip is like super hard to get to break. And Otavio's just waiting for him to so every time he's pulled back, he's trying to sit up. So he's trying to set up his sitting guard there. The guy knows as well because he keeps controlling that top leg. I think that's his coach yelling at him to keep the left leg so that he can't get up. Little yanking power there. Lucas Barbosa there at the back. Let's see, I think. Let's skip a bit, see if the sitting guard bit, because that's the bit that I want you guys to see. A lot of stooling here, but here, we finally get to the sitting guard. There you go. So, I think he was trying to get the far sleeve all along. He finally gets the far sleeve, and I'm guessing that's his indicator to go to sitting guard. He keeps kicking him. Does a little lift trip here. And then he finally gets his sitting guard. There. And he's aiming to pass the grip. The guy's posturing up to avoid the grip pass. Okay, so he's trying to do that move that we saw, where he passes the guy's sleeve here to the other hand. His partner keeps posturing up, tries to break the grip. Ref stops them. Resets. Now Otavio chooses to go to the sitting style. So this is basically still kind of sitting guard, but the guy's like squatting. There's the shin to shin sweep. There's the Nicolini sweep there. So that's the sweep I was talking about earlier. So he kind of chose to do that sweep. The guy didn't even knee slice him. So the guy in this stance, his indicator was the guy was squatting down. So it's harder for him to do sitting guard on him. So he does a little shrimp. There's the shin to shin coming in there. He controls the sleeve at the same time, which makes it really easy sweep. Bunch of scrambles there. Brambolo attempt. Knee bar attempt, and then they end up in 50-50. 2 points. Scramble, and an advantage. Nice little scramble there. So let's skip forward. See if he's gonna go for another sitting guard. Bravo attempt. Gets forced into half guard. Let's see how he gets forced into half guard. Knee slice. This is like heavy pressure passing here. He's just leaning on him and controlling the bottom leg. Otavio stops. So this is probably where he gets the... Right. So there's a nice twist sweep that we just saw. So this is from half guard lesson there. So you're going to see him basing his toes on the mat, pinching his legs. Whoops, sorry. And he's going to twist his hips to the side. Uses that grip so the guy can't base. And that's exactly the twist sweep that we learned. And then he comes back to close guard. He uses it as a recovery. That's the arch and collapse that we saw from our close guard there. If you guys remember. He takes the first step. He arches his hips. Second step. He pulls him down. I think he's just going to hold on to the fight because he's up to two points. Something happens here. Whoops. Spoiler part. Oh, here's the arm drag from our close guard lesson. Into a scramble and ends up on the back. Jesus. See what happened there. So we had a 2-on-1 grip like we did. The guy's tripoding up. That's a basic. That's a form of like a Shanji sweep that we learned as well. Just a variation to it. Guy scrambles and he ends up on the back. They're out on the red area, so he loses. He doesn't get same position. I think they just finish in close guard. This is in the close guard lesson I said that there was a sweep that I couldn't show you guys because the hard floor over here. But this is the sweep that I was talking about when someone stands. Very powerful sweep. And like I said, you can end up... Everyone always scrambles and gives you the back like this. Like half of the time, this happens. I think I forgot the name of that sweep as well. In Brazil, it's called taco cada. But I'm not sure what is in... I think in English, they call it waiter sweep sometimes. But it's confusing because waiter sweep is also a different sweep. But yeah, that's the man in action there. That's our sitting guard lesson. So to recap, the one that he did was the Michelle Nicolini sweep, which was this. You got 2 points from this. Then he watched that close guard lesson, and then he like used our close guard moves to end up on the guy's back. So Otavio Souza has been listening in since 2000 and something. But that's the end of the lesson, guys. This is the bit where we jam. Join in the Discord group so we can chat. Where's Ginger? Did she finally learn how to use the app? Q, where are the memes at? Facebook. Any questions? Fire them away. I'm not sure what to do next week, so any suggestions will be good. If there's a specific guard you guys want to do, let me know. Kirsten's been sending us some memes. Let's see it. There's not many good ones.
Keep scrolling. There's some videos.
Ginger! Ginger's in now. Let's see if we can hear her. She's still muted.
What the hell?
What?
Someone has their senior picture in their gi. Is it that deep? Just wear your graduation attire, bro.
He's living the jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
He's the type of guy to wear his gi in his wedding. Guys, can you hear me?
There's Ginger.
Yeah.
Ginger has joined the chat.
Yes, queens. Yes, queens.
You have to like mute the
Do I have to
wait, I'll mute myself on the Discord thing.
Oh no, I muted the live stream now.
Ah, cool. How you been?
Oh, not bad. Been wearing my gi every day.
Nice. Wait, this is you then at the moment. Where's the graduation picture? Look at this. My senior picture.
No.
Hold on. Steve's got a question there. Didn't realize I could use the shin to shin in that position. Always thought it was too much pressure. Nah, it's really good. Especially the more pressure they put on you, the easier it is to actually sweep them. Especially you like when they try to knee slice you hard and you have that shin to shin, they'll go flying over. They'll do like a low backflip or front flip in front of you. It's like one of the most like nicest sweeps you can do.
How do you feel about calling it potato guard?
Potato guard.
Sitting guard.
Oh, sitting. I think it requires too much effort to be able to be called potato guard. Need something lazy for, like reverse half guard. That's a good potato guard. You just lie there on your back doing nothing.
I think all the guards that I like is potato guard, except Elisa. I feel like I'm gonna be good at potato guard when I get back.
You would. I think it's good for you though. Especially when De La Hiva isn't working or something. Then we can switch to it. Let's see what else Kirsten's got.
I remember whenever my De La Hiva never worked. Are we all gonna get one? Oh, I love this one. I do like that one.
I love these ones.
You see the caption.
Me and my wife, when I told her 14-year-old white belt armbarred me.
Yes, I hate those little kids that are
Kids scare me the most. Whenever I see them, I'm like, oh no, they're either really good or.
plus 14-year-olds are massive these days.
Oh man. There's like a. Have you seen the heavyweight juvenile division?
What?
There's a heavyweight juvenile, like.
How heavy is there? Is that?
I think it's like. Let's see the juveniles. IBJF weight classes. Let's see. Juvenile, we've got. Wait, we need kilos. Juvenile male. There's juvenile kids weighing in at 89 kilos.
What?
That's super heavy. Imagine that 16-year-old kid weighing 90 kilos.
Yeah, why does that division exist? I can't imagine that there's anyone in it.
I can imagine there is. See those kids from Manaus, Brazil. The bricklayers. Okay, my mom is asking if the line at Tesco is wrong. Can you check? We live right in front of Tesco.
Yes, it is.
So
It's all the way down
and my mom lives like 10 minutes away. She always sends me a message asking if the line is long. Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's down there.
The best time she does like 8:30 or something. I went last night at like 8:30 and there was no one there. I was just walking and I felt a little bit weird, like.
Yeah, we always go at night. Or when it's raining. It's quite empty as well.
Oh, because no one wants to stand in line. I can't find any videos of heavyweight children.
Or juvenile. There's this kid from Brazil called. Have you seen him? He's called Michael Galvão or something.
Obama?
No, Galvão.
Obama.
He's like this, I think, prodigy 16, 17-year-old kid. He weighs, I think, 80 kilos, but he's beating black belts.
What?
Unchoked black belts out.
Wait, he's 16?
Yeah, 16 or 17. Oh, hold on.
Quit school, man.
Steve asked the question there. Can you transition from single leg X back to the Lahiva or reverse to Lahiva?
Steve, we're on the memes part now.
No, you can't go backwards, I'm afraid. You can, but it's usually not ideal. So I wouldn't do it. But it is possible. Bye bye, Elise. What we have here? Gary? Do you guys follow Gary Tonin on the Instagram page?
No. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Who is he?
He's American, but his tweets are like.
He's American.
That's very specific.
Wait, why did you ask? I thought you said where's he from?
No, I said he's fun to follow.
Oh, is he fun?
And you're like, oh, well, he's American. You know. Likes memes. Oh, look at that Beyonce. That massive, muscly Beyonce.
Apparently, this guy is from Japan. This was sick. This was like, those 5v5 tournaments? There are 5v5 tournaments in Jiu-Jitsu now. And this guy, This is Lackland, the guy that Ross fought a few times.
Did you beat him?
He went in and he tapped 5 of them.
Whoa.
Like he was the first guy in. The rest just went to watch. How you doing, Yusuf? Good morning. You're late.
Who did?
Yusuf. I think it's Yusuf. Is that Yusuf or Henry?
Who Jacob? Identify yourself.
Yusuf's fun to talk to. Yusuf, join the chat.
Why doesn't anyone else know how to join the chat? I feel really smart now.
I don't-
It's too complicated. It took you like what, 2 weeks to get it?
What was happening last time? Click on this link, Yusuf. I'll show people one more time.
That's not even a meme. That thing that says I miss Jitsu so much. That's not even.
It's just a dungeon.
I think this is a
Look, you click here. You join the chat and just click here. Do you think that's gonna be underground, illegal gyms opening around here when everything is reopened?
underground.
There's gonna have to be illegal underground jiu-jitsu places.
Is it gonna be good if it's only like little blue white belts going?
Cause jiu-jitsu is probably the last thing that they'll allow people to do.
Like, if we get our hands on like a bunch of testing kits, we could just like test everyone before class,
Yeah,
and then if
Gym
no-
box
and
should
then
do that.
test
Like anyone that
everyone
goes in.
so they can train. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think they should do it to anyone that walks into the gym.
Yeah, like if you want.
Well, at least the jiu-jitsu people would be nice.
But I guess you'd have to test everyone every day,
Yeah. Annoying.
right? Because you could not have it one day, and then you could go out to the shop, and then the next day you could have it.
But I think this. What are the tests? Is it just checking your temperature? That's the ones that people do. That's the one that people do in the airport and stores.
I don't know
at the
if all
moment.
test kits work, but the ones they do
I
in
think it's
hospitals
like,
are
isn't it like a
basic.
swab?
Yeah, Steve. I was talking to Rogero and like where he's at in Abu Dhabi and stuff. They don't let people in like anywhere without a mask or with gloves, and they have that little fever machine to check your temperature in any store you go to.
Yeah, but you can just have no symptoms, so.
Yeah. And that's only one of the symptoms.
Right.
Because if you're checking temperature, you can just be checking. Could be anything. You could just have a flu.
Yeah.
Anything else?
My mom's bringing in cheesy breads.
Yeah! Oh, Marion, I need to stop because I've been buying a bunch of shit recently. I bought an air fryer and I'm only making chips with it.
I don't think Marion can hear you.
What?
Did you hear that, Marion?
I think she's gone.
Oh. Is it my internet? It might be my internet.
Watching a live in the living room, and there's no internet upstairs. Let me go into the hallway.
Yusuf. Call Yusuf. Let me call Yusuf. Let me get his ass over
What,
here.
when you think about the air fryer?
Yeah, I'm gonna personally call. I can't use my phone. No worries, Jag. No, it's not to use.
You don't need to log into your YouTube.
Wait, she's probably on mobile. I need Ginger to teach people.
It's easier on mobile. You just click on the thing, the voice channel.
Memes.
What's that meme page that? It's just a meme page that you said,
It never
Kiri.
updates ever.
Never updates.
No.
The
Ginger's
best
just.
ones are on Instagram.
Oh.
Oh, that's so true. Oh my god, you're right. That's so.
Here's Yusuf. I wanna know what Yusuf's up to. What's a better?
I've ever eaten.
Alright, let's see what's next. Oh, it's just gym's closing.
Instagram and then...
I can't go on my Instagram.
I'm looking at this video on
Incognito.
Instagram. Have you taught Chubby any jujitsu yet?
She hates it.
She hates jiu-jitsu. She'll bite your feet while you're trying to do it.
She thinks we're fighting. She
Yeah.
doesn't like violence.
Here's a good one. But how can I share Instagram memes on here? I can't, right?
I don't know. Hey,
So you copy.
oh, Jacob is here. Yellow.
Copy link, girl. The Instagram memes
Click
are
on
on
the
here.
voice channel.
What?
Yeah, the Instagram memes. Just incognito on Instagram and then type BJJ memes.
Don't you have to log in?
No, you don't.
Okay. Trying to pull up the Instagram memes. There he is. He joined. You need to log in, man.
Does anyone know how you can make money with a meme page?
No.
I have no idea.
You gonna start? You should start a jiu-jitsu one.
I know, but I don't know how to monetize it. Cause like, if I'm
Remember
gonna do
that?
all that effort, I need to find a way to make money.
What's that Instagram page? Bros with geese? Guys and geese?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
That was funny, but they never post. It was funny because it was
I guess if you get a lot of followers, you can like sell stuff.
You joined like 3 seconds ago, bro.
Click on the voice channel. Click on the voice channel general under the thing that says voice channel.
I saw you were on it like 3 seconds ago. Yeah, voice. Oh, sorry, voice channel. Yeah. Then join. Click on the general thing. Let me show you on the screen. So you're
Wait,
here,
can you
right?
Open this if I share it with you.
I think so. Yeah. And then you just click here. On the mobile, I have no idea how to do it.
It's the same.
What's going on? Should have just done MSN for you guys.
MSN. Yes. Except for 40. Bless. Oh well.
There you go. I found it.
We tried again.
No, don't do this to me. No.
What is this?
Is this right?
Yes, there you go, man. You did it. What's up, Yusuf? I miss you, man. He's already gone.
He's gone again.
No, I'm here. I just get this like weird echo.
You have to mute the live.
You mute the live, otherwise you're gonna keep showing up.
Man.
I got you. I got you.
Listen to this one. Ah, wait.
It is what it is.
I think the background noise gonna make noise though.
Sometimes I look in the mirror and rights as well looking at myself because I am an absolute animal, a machine. So I probably wouldn't want to fight me.
I
either.
can't hear it, but send it to me. Send it to me on Instagram.
Send it, Christine. What's going on, Yusuf? Is he broken again? Oh, I think he's putting headphones on.
No, I'm on. Is anyone playing Call of Duty Warzone, by the way?
Oh, yes, I know that. My computer cannot run it. My computer's too old.
Run what?
Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm buying a new graphics card just to try to.
I could play it like for like, but it just lags so much. So I'll join you. I thought it was free. How are you buying it?
Let's do it. Let's get killed by 12-year-old.
Yeah, should get on the voice chat there. It goes crazy, man.
No, I'm buying the. This is like I'm looking to buy a new card.
Oh, mine's like really old, but I can still run it at low settings.
Oh no.
Guys, if I want to get
Yeah, I mean my settings are pretty low, so the fire looks pretty rubbish.
Yes, Ginger.
Look at this.
Ginger should get into gaming as well, Ginger.
I'm thinking if I want to get into gaming,
Yeah.
what should I do?
Animal Crossing!
Uh,
Animal Crossing!
what should we do, Ginger? You need to find out the style of games you like first.
Animal Crossing!
Do you like?
SimCity?
So you like role playing games, action games,
Animal Crossing!
competitive games is the fun ones.
No, but they get you angry like me. I get too angry now.
And I used to play like what's that one where you
You're the karate one. Did you see the karate one?
is it Mortal Kombat? No, what is it
The
called?
karate name.
Mortal Kombat. I used to play that with my sister when I was small. What is this? The song makes it. Have you guys seen? Have you watched? Oh, let me. Do you know who Master Ken is, Ginger?
What?
Do you know who Master Ken is?
No.
And oh, you need to watch this. Watch Enter the Dojo show. You've never seen this?
Oh yes, I've seen like one or two.
Oh my god, watch Master Ken BJJ's bullshit. Let's watch
so
this.
good.
Wait, here we go.
You can't play it, yeah.
Wait, let me mute everyone so we can hear this.
No, you need to mute that, otherwise they'll copy strike your stream.
Oh, I've gotten out of 2 copy strikes.
So you're gonna risk it?
I don't know. Should I risk it?
Get what?
Basically, if I play this, I might get copy striked. Alright, let me not risk it then.
But how come you can show the fight videos?
I think it's because I I download it
It's not on YouTube.
and then I just
Wait, do you download it from YouTube?
yeah.
What?
If you play it, you just get demonetized, right? Or do you get like cut off?
I think they like the last few videos they put like a copyright thing on me, and then I have to appeal, and then they give me my video back. So, yeah, I'll just send the link. I'll just
So
put.
you're allowed to play copyrighted content if you're doing a commentary or analysis of it.
Is it?
It's a grey area. People still get copy striked even if
Yeah, so it has to be like a critique.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let's critique Master Ken.
We'll critique him.
It needs to be transformative and blah 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 blah.
All right, let's watch this. Fuck it. How do I So I need to put the desktop audio up. Mic down.
This is so high tech.
I'm just calling to report a cat that's been wandering around behind my dojo. I don't know what kind it is. It's shaved. Why would I know who shaved? I'm Master Ken, and these are the top 5 reasons that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is bullshit. Many Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu experts claim that their art is the most practical because over 90% of all fights end up on the ground. But in Ameridote, over 100% of all fights go to the ground. Because that's where my opponents end up after I kick their face off. The first move that you learn in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is to run up to your opponent and wrap your arms around them as tightly as possible. And while this will make you a terrible street fighter, you will get compliments on your cuddling. In this style, most defensive moves are executed from the guard position, which happens to be identical to the missionary position. This makes it difficult for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters to date because getting between their legs is always an unpleasant experience. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu uniforms are often covered in various patches that advertise more brand names than a car at the Daytona 500. Whenever I see one of their fighters, I don't know if he wants to grapple with me or get me a 10% discount on my laser hair removal. The abbreviation for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is of course BJJ. But I think that's a waste of a perfectly good acronym, so I came up with some other meanings for BJJ. Big Juicy Jobby, Banana Junkie Jail, Boneheads Joyfully Jackrabbiting, or my favorite, bullshit. Just like judo. I'm Master Ken,
There's
and remember...
another one that he talks with. Oh, this one, the Gracie system. And this one.
Master Ken here with another secret street fighting tip. Now, it's been said for years that over 90% of all street fights end up on the ground. That's why in Ameridote we have a lot of anti-grappling techniques to keep that from happening. But I'll tell you, if you're one of these guys who purposely takes people to the ground, you're going to be in trouble eventually, okay? If you're one of these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys who would grab someone in a parking lot and end up on your back and you get your head stomped open on the asphalt, that's your own dumbass fault. But we need to learn how to defend against ground fighters. So I sent Todd out to the other Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools in the area, had him bring back some ideas about locks and chokes and different positions and things. And after training with him, I realized there was one foolproof way to get out of every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu move. The ultimate escape. What I'm about to show you is the skeleton key of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, okay? So, let's say that Todd has got me in the mounted position. He's striking down on me. I try to protect myself. I push up, okay? He transitions, goes to an arm bar. Now, I'm going to get my arm broken if I don't know what to do next. This is when I employ this ultimate escape move. Very simple, but effective. It is called the double tap. The double tap works against a rear naked choke. The double tap works against a key lock, also known as an Americana. It's also important to remember that no matter what position you end up in, once you get your release, you're going to have to finish him off.
I'm not sure if they just like YouTube that.
I'm Master Ken, that was a...
Now you know Master Ken. They have episodes, it's like a series. But you should watch the
Yeah, but what if you were in a street fight and the guy tapped? Would you stop?
That's what he's saying. They will stop.
You're supposed to.
Because then he could just tap and you'd stop and then he'd get you.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. There's like street fights where the person taps and then he stands up and starts trying to fucking fight him again. Gets his ass whooped again.
Master Ken knows.
If you have like an arm bar, I don't think I'd break someone's arm.
Yeah, like I'd probably let
If you had
go.
a choke, I'd probably choke him out. I wasn't.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd go for an arm bar anyway if I was in a street fight.
What are you? Yeah.
Like even if you break their arm, they can still keep attacking you.
Slap you with the broken arm. Jacare style.
I watched this movie, I can't remember what it was called, where they had this guy, they were holding him hostage, and like every time they wanted to like get something, they would put him into an arm bar and like threaten to break his arm. I wish I could remember the name.
There's like a. I was watching like Joe Rogan podcast, and there's like they were like criticizing all the jiu-jitsu techniques they see in movies and telling them what's wrong and stuff. What's have
I'd
you
watch.
seen any Guy Ritchie movie?
I think so. The Gentleman, right?
Yeah. Oh, except for the gentleman. I think any of them, right? They had he has like proper jiu-jitsu techniques on it. It's quite cool. And judo for
Yeah,
us.
he's a black belt, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I rolled with Guy Ritchie.
You did.
Yes, when he was at the gym, and
I rolled next to Guy Ritchie.
Next. Wait, let me end the stream because otherwise this will be all be up on YouTube later.
Uh-oh.
Alright guys, whoever's still in the